Alright, hey everyone, I'm just gonna get this going here real quick. I'm Feather Monster, and you're here to watch a Div 1 match between Elfir and Singularity. This is a week 4 match, I believe, so our maps should be, what's it? Obviously Marines bottom spawn and Descent, I believe it is. Leaning in to look at this tiny text on the preview. Yes, that is what it is. Anyway, hello. We've got most people on the server so far, it looks like. So we're missing a couple, it looks like, still for Singularity, but all things considered, not too bad. Hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Obviously, this is the daytime stream for me, so there may be obnoxious bird noises, but hopefully she won't be too, terribly annoying. Aren't quite as many games coming up this weekend so far, it looks like. I'm hoping that there'll maybe be a couple more getting scheduled, but so far, all things considered, not too bad. Let's see here, what else? Obviously, if you didn't know, they did finally make it so that the spawns are fixed, so we don't have to deal with RNG now on Tram. If there are still some week 1 matches happening, which I think there still are, I think there's like one, I think, and it might be the, is it Titus versus Godard that's a week 1 match? It might be. I'm theoretically casting that one, unless, something implodes. But, anyway, I think that's the only week 1 match that's left, and so I don't know what they're going to do on that one as far as spawns go, but theoretically now on Tram you don't have to worry about the spawns for the week 4 matches. It's said it'll just do its magic, and you don't have to deal with the RNG a zillion times. Let me see if that is Okay, so it looks like I'm guessing that Contagious had to go because for Elfir, because right before or right after I got in the server, um, he had to go, I guess. So it looks like they have Rios on the somewhere. I'm assuming he'd be calming because I don't know if any of these guys also calm. I don't know. Maybe IOTS is gonna calm. Gotta taunt IOTS always. Anyway, so far they've on Elfir, since they have pretty much their whole roster here. We've got Trigu, Joey, Mr. Oizo, Unique, Lala, who's IOTS, and yeah, the EvilBot's evil twin would be Rios. So far let's see, who do we have here for Sing? We got Mikan, Shades, JJ, Kane, ZZBox, and Colt is sitting in the ready room. I'm assuming he'd be playing, but obviously we're still missing one more person, so hopefully whoever that is will be showing up soon. Hope you guys have been in oh, yeah, Colt's going to be playing. He is a ruthless, bloodthirsty mercenary, if you can't read the text there. So he has been approved, so there we go. Alright, wait, somebody else snuck in. Oh, Shade snuck in, I think it was. So now we got everybody on the server here. We're all ready to go. And looks like the stream is even live, so everything should be all shiny and awesome. Singus is already even readied up, and we have Pelargir currently as the ref for this. It should be live. I don't know what these guys are talking about. Reading chat there. It should be live now. We have and they weren't even all on the team, so I don't know what people are talking about. They're being silly. Anyway. So hopefully you guys figure that out anyway. So we're gonna be waiting around for Elfir 2 ready up. Currently nobody's in the chair there, so obviously they cannot until somebody does hop in there. It's always fun to see if somebody actually does try to ready up when there's no comm in the chair. It just does nothing. Gotta love that. Anyway. So hopefully these will be some good games. Obviously, trying to remember what happened on the week 1 matches for both these teams for this, but it looks like Rios is going to be calming, and he did jump in the chair there, so we will probably be seeing this ready to go here shortly. But I think that probably alien teams might prefer the north spawn a bit more, but it really depends. I know some teams are like the south one as well, just because, well, that's what the RNG decides when you aren't fixed spawns. But I don't know. We'll see. Have to see how this ends up playing. The north spawns do seem to be a lot more like good for getting a gorge running around. But we'll have to see whether or not that happens. I'm not quite sure who of Sing's roster would be the one that would end up being the gorge. It might be... Yeah, I don't know. Either way, we're going to have this ready to go here. So we have the ready up. It'll be 15 seconds till the first round here on Tram between Elfir and Singularity. So let's see how this goes. Hope you guys have a good weekend, or good game here, and enjoying the weekend. Alright, so we are seeing an arms lab built down here, and we're seeing like most of the aliens going straight down into hub. Not quite sure where they're going to be going from there, but we'll see how it ends up going. Trigger's just kind of holding on his own, but if he moves forward into hub, he's just going to get completely destroyed, especially since JJ was hiding around the corner, but it looks like he spotted him, so not exactly going to go the best right there. Mr. Oizo, Unique's hiding around the corner here while Mr. Oizo builds. Looks like they're going to pick off both of the... No, Mikan's going to get killed there on Mr. Oizo. Unique's still alive. Mikan is going to die, but here comes JJ. Right in to possibly clear him out, but at this point it looks like he's not going to take that engagement. He's... Unique was on pistol, so... But it looks like he still had some LMG bullets left as well. Got the armor one almost done over there. It looks like they're grouping up 3 skulks over here to try and take out IELTS and Joey. By getting poked and pushed into the corner there by the RT, that definitely made it a lot easier for ZZ to be able to take out IELTS while he was, you know, fleeing. I think that Joey was looking down the hallway at the time too, so that definitely helped. Just got to land a couple bites there. It does take down Trigu. ZZ gets taken out by Mr. Oizo down the hallway. And so far, so good. We haven't seen anything get completely destroyed as far as RTs go yet. They're just expanding, you know, holding a nice, strong position across the map for Elfir. But it looks like we are seeing a little... Okay, Colt's just getting shot at there by Unique, who's standing over by the RT. It looks like it still needs to power up. Poor IELTS gets converged on by 4 of the Singularity Skulks. And it looks like we're going to have a group of maybe either pushing over to clear OBS, or possibly just loop back around to try and take out Trigu and Unique. But since they're all sneaking... Oh, there goes that. They know that they were in the vent, obviously, because they saw the whole group of them move in. But it looks like while Trigu is busy taking down ZZ, they're going to try and have Mikan and Colt, you know, get some damage done on that RT. Some nice shooting there from Trigu. He is able to clear that up pretty well. IELTS is going to meet up with him, and they're going to just, like, you know, continue on forward. Didn't even lose that RT yet. Shades pops out from around the corner. He was able to take out Unique before Unique is able to kill him. I mean, he is really low on health, so, you know, with 2 Marines there, it's a bit iffy of an engagement. ZZ's pretty well chipped in that vent. Oizo's covering the other side. He'll probably take out Shades right there, but it's, you know what? It's past lurk timing, so we'll probably be seeing, I think, Shades and... I don't know, somebody going lurk here very, very shortly. And yep, there we go. We are seeing... Oh, Mikan lurk. Colt gonna get taken down maybe. Yep, there he goes. Pistol shot from IELTS takes him down. Meanwhile down here we're seeing JJ getting... he looks like he was working on the Logi extractor. So far, I don't think anything's... Oh, we lost 1 harvester, which would be the one there in Mez. Looks like Mikan's going to come over there and try and flank him. Obviously, he can be heard since, you know, he has to flap a good deal. There is Shades as the other lurk. They're going to move in, get a bite on IELTS, and they're going to be able to take out Trigu. IELTS is next, and that'll be cleared, and they can redrop that harvester, which they already did, like, instantaneously. So they're finally getting the shells up. It's a little bit... potentially a little bit later than some comms might choose, but at this point they have a lot of res. They have, what, almost 5 RTs. That one up there is probably going to get annihilated because, well, Mr. Oizo's kind of shooting it. ZZ's just waiting around the corner over there, trying to see if he can get a bite on Joey. I'll have to watch out on that, but it looks like Oizo's going to go down and they will be able to get that 5th RT up, assuming nobody comes over. It looks like they're going to try and clear out Joey now. Lots of nice swooping from the lurks. They gotta get their bites there, and they do. Shotguns have been started, so that'll be up in plenty of time to try and deal with both the lurks before they have the fades out and the fades when they eventually end up popping. They're still at 29 P-res, so a while to go. Finally, the first extractor is down at this point. It seems like both teams are doing a pretty good job at holding onto their res. They aren't being too adventurous. But it's definitely allowing them to be able to tech up and, you know, spend meds and all that nonsense. This looks like Mr. Oizo is going to be the next target of the lurks. He is pulling back into ET to try and get some distance on the lurks. But really, both of them are barely hurt at this point, so it should be pretty easy to clean them up. They have Joey coming in with a pinch there, but it looks like the one that was hurt, that'd be Shades, was able to go up into the vent. And he just doesn't even care. He just swoops over him, keeps going. There's that crag over there, which helps support both these lurks, and Mikan actually gets pretty hurt, so you better watch out. That is a really evil little hallway where you think that you'd probably be around the corner, but, you know, you end up not being. Unique's going to start work on the PvE there. Gets bitten a couple times by Shades, and I think the crag there is heal waving, so that is definitely going to help keep Shades alive at the very least. Meanwhile, we've gotten two Marines moving into ore at the same time. The obs is done. I mean, there's a lot of res floating around for Sing, so I'm assuming after they clear out these two Marines, they probably will drop the hive over there in server. It is about that time, and they probably could, you know, do with having that, both that extra healing space. Yep, there it goes. The extra healing and obviously the biomass, the upgrades that go along with it. So Mikon's just getting some spike there, but he better watch out because, you know, I had his shotgun coming straight towards him. Shades has a little bit better position just because, well, he can back up and stay out of the evil shotgun range. They are going for weapons too at the moment. They do have the obs up as well, so if they were able to sneak around, here come the fades. They're able to sneak around, well, it'll be easy enough for them to beacon back. Moving in, they maybe getting, nope, not getting the swipe there on IOTS. Mikon's actually very low. He's going to have to back into the vent, it looks like, or just get out. JJ's really low as well. He doesn't have any armor, so they might end up losing a lurk here, though. Nope, Mikon gets out at the last moment. He's kind of trapped up there, but it sounds like he does have regen. Yep, he does. So he'll be able to get out of there as soon as they move out of position. They don't have any parasites on them, so it's going to be a little bit of guesswork, you know, just judging by the sounds of the footsteps. But at the moment, they also have two shotguns over on the other side. Over here in Mez, taking out the PvE there, just generally being obnoxious. We're seeing the giant engagement going on over here in Ore. They were able to split them up a little bit, just enough, especially with that the stairs here, giving another way to like split them, which would be via the like, you know, vertical distance. Seeing Oizo and Unique still working on that RT. They did take down the crag. Let's see but they're split up again. There's this wall in the way, which will definitely allow them to take down Oizo, no problem. Oizo actually gets killed by Unique. Oops. There is what? Is it 33% friendly fire? 30-ish? Whatever. Close enough. Anyway, they're rebuilding those RTs. You can see the hive is at 58% grown, so that'll, that really hasn't been pushed on too much. I don't think that I mean, considering how long they were messing around in Mez, I don't think that they really noticed the hive was up, because I'm pretty sure that would have been a much more important thing to do, go in there and snipe the drifter, slow it down. We're seeing all the life forms have moved forward down in here into obs. They do have another shotgun moving in there. Mikon and Colt, both are pretty low. But at this point, the RT is down, so they're just going to back off because there isn't really any point in taking the engagement there. Yeah, okay, they'd be able to kill a shotgun, but it's so close to base that they could just recap it, no problem. IOTS is actually hiding right around the corner there, so we might get a good shot on JJ. He actually misses it. But now JJ's able to see where he is. But Joey there as well, also a shotgun. ZZ goes right past Mr. Oizo, somehow survives for an extra, 5 seconds, and finally gets taken down. Seeing the two there moving back into ore, working on that RT. The hive is up to 92% grown. We just lost Mikon. Where's Trigu? Where's Trigu? Looks like he was down here somewhere. There's no way I was going to be able to catch that one if he was somewhere down in this corner of the map. Anyway. One lurk down, that isn't too bad. I mean, it looks like he's actually re-lurking. I mean, at this point in the game, there isn't really it isn't to the point where you really need a second lurk, so re-lurking may or may not end up hurting them in the end, depending on what happens. They may have decided that if, you know, that if Shades does, that maybe he'd stay for Onos. But at this point, you really only need the one lurk, and you don't even have Umbra up for the lurk to be super effective for helping out in these engagements yet either. I'm just working on the whip there. They take that out. Still seeing some more poking around over here in ore. There's 2 shotguns on the ground. So this is a lot of P-res that's just going down. Mr. Oiz was kind of hiding in the corner there. Mikan's going to go in and try and bite him while he's reloading. He's going to end up getting killed. I'm not quite sure why Mikan did that. That was rather silly. So that lurk that he bought? Not really so good, because that puts him farther behind. I mean, yes, he's at like, what, 6 res now? So, okay, he could go Gorge. There's a Marine in the vent. How surprising. He is, however, just an LMG, so if Shades really wants to come bite him, he will, and he does. However, now he has to go heal because, well, in close space, lots of bullets, now he's kind of hurt. Ayats is back there in the, in ore. I don't know whether he rescued that shotgun that he has now or what. He almost took down JJ, though. However, Colt is able to clear him up, and that shotgun is so far from anything that it's toast. So Trigo clearing up the cis chain. They still had the top part of the map rather locked down. You can take a look quickly here at this. You can see that the aliens have been pretty much keeping up res-wise. I mean, you look at the top, it's, you know, almost 5 and almost 5. Not the greatest rate of killing RTs for Singularity, but all things considered, they're still holding on pretty well. I mean, they're just going to have to make sure that they keep the P-res low, and at this point they kind of are for some of the people. You can see that Unique still has 40 res, and I think there was somebody else that had more too, but I think he might have just bought something. Ayat's just hiding there right in the corner. Nobody sees him. He has clearance to go do whatever the heck he wants. They do have Umbra up now, so that's where you do need the one lurk up. And we got ZZ up as the Onos. So we got this. This is a nice timing for both of that to make sure to have Umbra and the Onos up at the same time. Charge is going to be finished fairly soon as well, so that's going to be a really nice position for them. You can see that there are 3 Marines hanging out here, sort of in the like hub vicinity. They don't have the gate up. I mean, they don't have enough res for it. They do have 5 RT, so it's going to be a little bit of time before they do it, but it's like not hideously long either. I mean, it's just a matter of gotta wait for that P-res or gotta wait for that T-res. You see they have the one up in base. So pretty much at this point, while they're waiting for that gate to like get up so they can, you know, be able to do stuff. I mean, this is the perfect place. They have enough res. They have the. It looks like they're going to build that power up really quickly. And you can see there's the drifter in there to be obnoxious and possibly pop the blueprint. However, oh, is he going to do it? He does pop the blueprint. Run away, little drifter. Meanwhile, we've got an Onos and a lurk just going around clearing some res. I definitely have to make sure that they don't end up getting pinched down there, because that is pretty far away, and it looks like... No. Okay, Joey, are you going to go there? Are you going to go there, Joey? Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, they could easily get pitched in that little Logi hallway, but at this point it looks like they're not going to bother about it. They did have IOTs moving in. However, with a lurk with Umbra and an Onos, it's going to be... It's not like one Marine will, in ordinary scenarios, be able to take that. I mean, now Sing is almost up to 6 RTs. I mean, at this point, it's really kind of escaping. Elfir really needs to do something at this point and be able to go and just either kill the Onos, kill something. They finally got their phase gate up. I don't... but, like, just... Maybe it was just a little too late. They weren't able to get that position on the map, so they were just able to, like, you know, have them hold on to it. Here comes Mr. Oizo with Trigger moving in from the north. Able to get quite a bit of damage there on ZZ, and he's on the wrong side of things, so he might actually end up going down, depending on what happens here, but it looks like Cold is going to clean up IOTs, and they're going to be clear to go into Hub and work on that gate. Yes, they're all of Elfir is reappearing out through the gate, trying to clear out all these aliens. Mikan takes out one of them and then goes down, but at this point that's plenty of distractions to allow ZZ to move back to the Hive, which has, of course, since been completed a long time ago. He's going to get his upgrade, and they did go for, what's it? We're going to see... Poor Trigger's all by himself here. He's backing up away from the gate. Waiting for Joey to move in as well. Alright, so ZZ has both his upgrades, both the from the shift hive was the second hive chosen. It's like at this point they don't have any arcs, so it's not like having a shade hive was absolutely totally necessary. Sure, either one at this point probably could help, and we're seeing a couple people poking, or just one person poking over here in repair. But you can see there's the PvE already starting to be set up. They could grab that as another hive, potentially, especially with 4 Marines all being like kept busy over here by a Fade, a Lurk, and a No-Nos. I mean, taking a look at the P-Res, Shades is up to 49 P-Res, so if something goes terribly wrong, at least it isn't too crazy that way. I mean, we're seeing Unique looks like he might be trying to go pinch something or hoping that somebody will come through the vent. I'm not quite sure. He is sneaking, so he has some destination in mind. Or at least one would hope so. Mikon just working on res. Taking a look at this, you can see that, yeah, so far Elfir, past about the 10-minute mark, is pretty well locked on to the res that they've had. It's been challenged a little bit, but not enough, especially with the PvE there that help basically limit the damage that has been done to it. I mean, they might end up losing a platform here just because, well, it's all by itself. But it looks like they're going to have Hub go down as well. They don't have a Gorge there to heal up ZZ, but he still has some armor left, so, and especially with Umbra, and they could Mucus from the Drifter, so they're going to take out Hub no problem. JJ's gonna go through the little vent system here, but not land any swipes there on Unique. Get the Drifter siding him through there. He's gonna land a couple of swipes, take him out. That's another shotgun that is never going to be recapped. And yeah, at this point, Elfir is really in a bad place. They just weren't able to take the momentum that they had, even though it wasn't necessarily like huge pushing momentum. It was just like they were in a good spot, and it doesn't feel like they necessarily capitalized on it as much. They played really safe. Both teams did, actually. Just holding onto the res for the first part. And once we see this, just Oizo and Trigger left. Oizo's going to be the first one picked on, especially since he went down out of the way. Trigger's still moving towards base, so he could get support. So that was definitely the secondary target there. Taking a look at this. Now you can see for that first part of the game, up until about 5 minutes, they were just playing really safe. Both teams. I mean, no res went down. Okay, there was the one in Mez, I think. But no res went down, both teams are playing safe, and just, I don't know whether it was just bad tech path or what, but Elfir wasn't able to capitalize on the fact that they were able to hold on to like 5 RTs for that long. At least not as much. They allowed Sing to also hold on to roughly 5 RTs for the same amount of time, and you do not want to have the same amount of RTs as the aliens. Oh, ZZ might end up going down. He's able to duck around the corner. We had JJ and Mikon picking off whoever that was chasing after him, and they were able to clear them out of repair. They do have weapons 3 now, so it'll hurt a little bit more, but I mean, they have the 3rd hive building. What's getting chomped on? Oh, it's the RT. I mean, you can see the green has pretty much taken over the map. At this point, we're seeing the group of 5 moving out through Laji. I'm not quite sure where they're all going to be going with it, but it looks like they're going to be trying to maybe take down... Now, they're just going to go travel in a giant herd, it looks like. Another hive dropped over there in ET. Just not worrying about it. Fades on the obs, pulling Rios out of the chair. Here comes the Onos, taking him down. No comm at the moment, so no meds. Oizo and Chigu over by base. Looks like Chigu may end up being the first one taken down, and then they're going to chase after Oizo. Cat packs are still researching, but nobody can drop them at the moment. They need to get back in there and get on those IPs. Joey's circling back around through south tunnels. Actually going to beacon them back with Shades back as Onos as well. They need to make sure they don't end up throwing either of these Onos, even though at this point it's pretty well over. They're going to beacon people again to try and make them be alive, but we have Mikon as a lurk again, and just all things considered, it's basically over. All the Marines are dead. Okay, they're alive again for another 4 seconds. Okay, now they're back to being dead. One IP going to go down here. Now on to the second. And that'll be it for round 1 of Elfir vs. Singularity as soon as the banner shows up. Alright. So nice round for them there. Yeah, I think that I mean, we looked at the res graph and it had what? It had 5 RTs for both of them at around 5 minutes. I mean, so that means either that... yeah, okay, so if you look at the map, I think the Elfir pretty much had a handle on stuff right about there. You know, basically the midpoint of the map. I mean, sure, that'd be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's basically how it was. So that's not a bad place to be sitting on if you are a Marine team. I mean, it's pretty easy to defend. You can watch nicely down the hallways, but just they allowed Singularity to hold on to the same amount of res on the north half of the map. If you're not going to push forward and try and if you're going to try and just hold on to those RTs and not take any more, you really need to make sure that you aren't letting them hold on to it. And I think that was probably it. They needed a little bit more early pressure, perhaps, to just kill cysts when they were, cysting and stuff. And just the fact that instead of going upgrades, Kane went and chose to just basically hard expand the top half of the map. That could have been part of what decided the pace of that game for the alien team. Is just the fact that they did have that res up. They couldn't just go desist it and call it good. There was already a RT there because they got shells late. So now we get to wait around for a round 2. Curious to see whether their Marine game will be as solid or not. I have to see how it ends up going. I know that Sing was playing last night. I can't remember if Elfir was playing earlier today. Let me look at my messages and see. Yep, perhaps. I think Elfir might have been playing earlier today. So hopefully both these teams have gotten some practice in. Yeah, I'm seeing chat over there. Mika should be Onus by now. Yeah, that is, as I said, it was part of the problem with going, basically having somebody re-lurk when you still have another lurk up. I mean, okay, sure, maybe you need it, depending on what it is, but when you have the fades up already, you don't need the second lurk. You need the other skulk to go and kill res and get parasites and stuff. It's much more useful to the team to be able to have that sight on the Marine players and to be able to take down those take down the res, than it is to have another lurk, which is, scared of dying because obviously it costs something. Skulks, they're free. Who cares? They can go die. Sure, it's bad if you're just dying a ton because you're just not getting any work done. But if you're dying after doing a good amount of work, then it's no problem. Why even bother? Just go, kill some more RTs. And so we're going to be moving into round 2 here. We do have a ready up from both teams, so onward to round 2 of Elfir versus Singularity here on Tram. Alright, so no gorge from them, at least at this point, so no gorge on this map. Seeing an arm slab dropped right over there, and we'll have to see how it ends up. We're having shades running up towards the center. It looks like at this point, maybe everybody's shuffling around. We're going to end up with 3 over here by Logi. JJ's a little bit far forward. He's going to end up probably getting pounced on by all these guys. Now it's 4 over in that section. They did have Mikan a little bit farther back into Logi, so he's going to be able to snipe down 2 of them before getting taken out. Shades takes out Rios over there in South Tunnels, and he moves forward back into Hub. I have IOTS pushing into base, maybe getting some parasites. I don't know. Nope, doesn't look like it. He's almost dead. He's going to fall down on Shades, and JJ's going to clean both of them up. Unique was hiding around a corner there, and he's able to take out, I can't see who it is because somebody just logged on Steam. But he was able to take out one of them. Looks like it was probably Shades. Maybe not. I don't know. Trigu almost getting completely annihilated there. JJ just needs to land another shot on him with anything and he'd go down. He takes out Joey, who kept moving in. And so he's just holding in South Tunnels. At this point, let's see, we're seeing only one RT being built at the moment for Elfir. We have 3 skulks all set up to try and go move on something. It looks like Colt is going to get nipped at by Mr. Oizo. But he missed the chance that he had there. Trigger's just saying, "Screw you, not gonna bite you," but he might end up getting taken down because he did just take a nice straight line path right past Colt. But it looks like he is gonna survive, and then we have a bunch of stuff going on in base. They are jumping on the IP there. Looks like we're seeing ET dropped, and they're going to build another chair over there. It looks like at this point that is pretty much a relocate. I'm not sure. Okay. Everybody is going to go after the chair. So they're trying to end this right now. Obviously, Armor 1 is done, so that was good timing on that. However, there's kind of this problem. They're recycling the arm slab. ET just gets done. The power's already up, so they need to get an IP up before everybody ends up getting taken down here. Mr. Oizek moving after ZZ, and he gets taken down. Chico and Rios both staying down there and shipping to trying to clear that up. Joey moving in, almost taking down JJ. JJ going down from IOTS. And ZZ doing... nope, that was Colt getting the cleanup there, even though ZZ was also shooting. Anyway, one IP going. They'll have to get an arm slab back up. And try and get some more res on this map, because they have 2 RTs now. The one in Logi just went down. You can see how this, kind of got melted a little bit. So that was a good call by them. They obviously left some lanes open. And Colt is pretty much going to be toast unless he works some magic. But no, though he did get 2 of those skulks pretty well chipped. So that should be pretty easy for Shades to clean them up if they move in. Seeing IOTS going off to go bite the RT down there with Rios. But it looks like JJ is not going to be able to save that RT. 3 skulks now over by observation. Colt taking down 1, but he gets taken down by one of the others. They are down to one RT. Sure, looks like the one in Mez will probably end up being built before Rios is able to move in there and take him out, but maybe not. Does take him out. He's reloading those switches to pistol. Mr. Oizo's working on him. He does take him down, but he gets taken down by JJ. That RT is at 77% built, and they really need that thing captured right now. Lurks are up. That'd be Trigger and Unique. Looks like IOTS is also going Lurk, so we're going to see 3 Lurks there from Elfir. It should be plenty for them to be able to win this if they are able to, if they don't let Sing, basically recap. Here comes Trigu flanking from the Mez side of things. He's trying to land some bites there on Shades. He gets a couple of her. Trigu may end up going down here. He barely ducks out of there with no health pretty much. 2% or so? They almost had that. That was like half a bullet. Okay. Maybe a little bit more than half a bullet or a little bit less, but you could have sneezed on him and he'd be dead. So he's healing up down there, and they're getting some RTs back on the field. Shades has no HP, so he's going to go down to Unique, no problem. Drifter is fleeing the premises. You can see that just they've started capping down the left side of the map here. ZZ's going to go down under a hail of lurk bites. They've taken down 4 OTs in 5 minutes, so that's definitely good for Elfir. Obviously, that part of that was because they did lose their Sing did lose their position down there in shipping, so it opened up that part of the map a bit more. Shades and ZZ versus 2 of the lurks. Taking another look here. But, they're back up to 4 RTs, so at this point, if they're able to hold on to it, it might not be so bad. They're seeing 2 of the lurks down here versus Mikan and Colt. 3 of the lurks, all the lurks are down on the south half of the map. They're just going to go and try and melt shipping. Meanwhile, up here, JJ's capping server. It looks like Joey is just waiting to see if he can jump down on JJ's head. And he jumps down. He is able to take out JJ. 1 lurk moving down through hub. That'd be Unique. And just the flock of lurks has continued on, just melting all the res with their crazy lawnmower biting of doom. Colt obviously by himself there. And you can see the Sis have already even moved in. They might actually take down one of the lurks. IOTS is pretty low there. He is in the vent though, so he's probably safe. JJ's watching just in case. If he... Okay, now he's not. He's going to try and save Mez. We have Shades and ZZ over here in repair. 2 of the lurks over here. They're split by a wall. There's no way they could shoot the lurks off of each other, so they're down. They cut the Sis chain, not the biggest deal there, but it looks like we're seeing Mikan and Colt moving down into observation and trying to recap some of this. But all the res got melted again. What res they had there, I mean, it just got obliterated by those lurks. Well, and a skulk, I think. But mostly lurks, just completely annihilating the southern res. They finally get observation back up. They really need to get rid of one of these lurks before it is too late, but at this point, they're At this point, it might already be. But if they could just, land a few of the right bullets at the right time to take down at least one, if not two of these lurks, they probably Sing would probably have a much easier time at trying to claw this back. See, JJ and ZZ versus IOTS and Trigu. Trigu is kind of low. He doesn't have any armor. However, he's up in the ceiling. He's able to get out through ore. Mikan and Colt again trying to work through on that res. They did finally recap Mez, it looks like, but at this point, poor Shades is going to get taken down and they're going to lose Mez again. So they'll be back to 2 RTs. They just can't get past 3. I mean, there it goes. It just drops back down to 2. JJ's probably going to get taken out. Nope, he takes out Joey. Thought that was going to line up with his reload. But at this point, I mean, just slowly the map is turning green. Sing is definitely going through and trying to get position back on the map. They're definitely trying to go and recap. But just these 3 lurks, they're everywhere at once. And then there are skulks sometimes too. Where are all these aliens coming from? Poor Mikan's down here alone versus a lurk and a skulk, Oizo and Trigu. He gets just like chomped to death. IOTS shows up a little bit late, nothing for him to clean up. JJ takes out Mr. Oizo. Just these lurks, man. Fades are up too. Joey is up as a fade. And we'll have to see if we see a second one as well. I think that, I don't know whether that'd be Oizo or not. I mean, because at this point, just they haven't killed any of the lurks. They're just this giant flock of teeth and destruction. Alright, yeah, we are going to see Mr. Oizo showing up as the other fade. And so it'll be no problem for them to continue to hold on to this. I mean, with the fades up now too, I mean, I don't think Sing has gotten another upgrade in a long time. They're still at 1-1. Or armor 1 shotguns, I'm sorry. So I guess that was a relatively recent upgrade. So they need to do something with their shotguns. It is interesting that Elfir has gotten so much res, but they haven't gone and grabbed another hive yet. Colt is going to go down potentially. Just all this lurk spiking. I mean, that just chews through all the mats, and they're on 1 RT again. Again, they're on 1 RT, so they need to just get out of the lurk spikes, because that's gonna hurt way too much. Repair room has been dropped. That is basically just opposite them. So it should be a nice safe position, especially since they're pretty much being held in their base. And they get wiped out. So there's a couple shotguns hiding there in the hallway. 3 of them, it looks like. JJ pops back up alive. He probably won't be able to recap either of those, though, because, well, there's kind of 2 life forms in the way, and they don't have it, so they don't have the ability to go back and reclaim that, so they are just going to GG. Now you can see it just got out of control. So that bit of lane blocking costing them the game there. So both alien wins so far at this point.
Command station under attack.
So there we go. Watching Shades get a last little duel there versus Joey the Fade. And so round 2 goes to Elfir. So after this we'll be moving to Descent. We'll be moving to Descent, which should be... Oh, we had to switch servers too. Okay, Plarger's gonna pick the server, and so we'll be joining on him momentarily. Alright, has he switched servers? Looks like it. Looks like we're going to be moving to Paris for the next round. That first server was one of the Pug servers that should have been in Dallas, I believe. So now that was definitely Singularity's, ping as far as things go. Now it's onward to Paris. So this will be a lot more rough for Sing, at least ping-wise, unless they're going to, shoot around corners, which, ping does do some weird things when you're fighting on the field, because, well, God, it has to figure out what the heck it's doing, and just sometimes the game gets kind of confused. Either you'll shoot something and get no reg at all, or you'll shoot something and you're technically shooting them around the corner because your game still thinks that they haven't gone around the corner yet. Yeah, weird stuff happens. It's all in fun stuff. But yeah, it's all the yeah. It is interesting to see that. It is interesting to see how some of the teams now seem to be moving back to preferring Shift Hive instead of Crag. It does seem to be more common with the Euro teams than it is with the NA teams. I mean, I don't think I've seen any of the NA teams above, Div 2 go Shift Hive first. I mean, it's all been Crag first. I mean, even I think some of the lower NA Div teams go Crag first. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, to see whether is something that continues or if that ends up, everybody ends up going back and preferring Crag again or whatnot. I mean, it really all depends partially on how you play, whether you're able to lock down that second hive and stuff like that, so that way you do get that defense, because obviously those shells become a little bit more important when you end up with shotguns and higher marine upgrades. But yeah, that last round, it was all kind of just thrown to the side there, I think, when their base got destroyed. I mean, obviously, being forced to relocate is never good. I mean, if you're planning to relocate, sure. If you're planning like on descent, let's move to the blackness here. If you're planning on, no matter what, you relocate to say Hydro, because that is, that's like the equivalent of relocating to Cross or to Falls. It's the center of the map. You can pretty much get everywhere. It makes phase gates less important. If you do something like that, you plan that relocate right at the beginning, that's fine. By all means, have fun relocating. Just don't forget to, build a power or something else silly like that. But, there's that. There's, that's fine, but being forced to relocate always is bad because, or at least 90% of the time is bad because you're losing res as you're trying to relocate. You're losing the res from IPs. You're losing the res from the chair if it gets demolished, and you're also losing all that positioning because as that stuff is either being recycled or destroyed, you're trying to relocate to Hydro or to wherever so that you just don't have that position on the map. You have to pull everyone together so that you don't lose those last 4 Marines or whatever's still alive. Because as soon as once you kill all the Marines, if there are no IPs, of course that's one way to get game over. All right, seeing what chat is saying, just talking about. It looks like people just talking about the end of the game there. Um, but yeah, I'm assuming that. I don't know. I'm wondering if we are going to be seeing mines here on Descent for either team because this is a map that it has a lot of weird hallways and just. Obviously, horizontal spawns have these lovely vents that are somewhat troublesome at times. I mean, it's much easier to sneak some aliens in there than it is on, Tram. Tram is so easy to lane block. It's basically 3 columns, and you put somebody in each column and just, make it happen. Currently, at the moment, though, on Descent, it's a lot more of a mess. Alright, so Colt got approved as a merc 3 times there, I think? Oh, it doesn't have the thing right there. Oh, yeah, he got approved 3 times. Huzzah. So, it looks like we have everybody in here. Nobody's swapped out or anything like that. So, we'll be ready to go here momentarily, I would assume. I don't think nobody's readied up yet. Yeah, nobody's readied up yet, so... They need to figure out what they're going to be doing. This is also a map that, might see Shade Hive on. It is, I think the maps that are larger and not as often played seem to end up being reasonable shade maps just because people don't check necessarily all the corners or it's just so big that you have so many places to hide and just, sneak around to be obnoxious. And if you aren't used to playing against Shade, it's even more annoying because you aren't, used to looking for, or, you aren't used to either watching your minimap for the encroaching red dot that is completely silent or anything like that. So let's see what happens. I think we did just get it ready up. Yeah, Sing has readied up. And as aliens, they will have the opportunity to go Shade if they so wish. So let's see if that is what they choose. Yeah, I think that more of the NA teams seem to prefer Shade Hive over Shift as far as another non-Crag starting Hive. There's a much higher chance for NA teams to going Shade, and it looks like EU teams going Shift. I guess Crag would be just like the vanilla Hive that you pick. And you're like, I don't know what we're doing. Let's pick Crag because we get shells and the defense is cool. Everyone likes defense, right? But yeah, looks like we have quite a few people in here at the moment. Just looking over at the numbers in chat. So we are going to have one other game tonight. Oh, okay, never mind. I won't get to talk about that. I'll talk about that between matches because we're going to go into round 3 here between Elfir and Singularity in 10 seconds. All right, north-south spawns. No worries about any sneaky base rush fence here. No gorge either. They're just going to get the heck out of base, and we'll see what they end up doing hive-wise. Meanwhile, we've got 3 pushing down into energy flow so far. I'm assuming one of them might end up moving towards Hydra, but actually it looks like they're going to run one towards Monorail right off the bat. They're just kind of pushing forward. I mean, it leaves their base a little bit open just because they have, a couple people moving forward, but as long as they stay put, maybe it won't be so bad. Still no hive type chosen. Oh, they are going to go Crag Hive, so nothing too adventurous there. Mines have also been started, so this could be a case of both teams playing it safe again. Mikon taunting from the rafters at Mr. Oizo. Hear that lovely skulk chuckling. Unique getting a nice early kill there on the Drifter. Mikon sneaking up behind. He may get, nope, missing a couple parasites. He does finally get the parasite. However, looks like Kane is going to come in from the other side. Not really timed correctly to be able to move in on him here. They're all going to finally crush him one way or another. He's going down. He's going to go down. He's cleared. All right. So Ed's moving forward into club by himself. JJ looked like he was waiting to see if he'd come into crew quarters there, but it looks like Joey might do that. Just lots of sneaking around. People being quiet. We're saying a little fight over here in Monorail though. Mr. Oiza taking down one of the skulks, and however he gets taken down by Mikon. It looks like Joey ended up taking out JJ, who was at under half health, so it's not like that was too horrendously challenging. It's chasing a Drifter. And ZZ sneaking to try and creep up on him right there. One bite, another bite. He ends up going down. They're still only researching Armor 1 now, so they are still just 2 bites and a parasite. But the problem is chaining those together without a med pack. And there were some definite med packs showing up there. Parasite there on Unique, and Mikon has no health practically, but he might end up getting the other parasite there on Mr. Oizo. Or Shades can get that, and maybe... No, I think that he fumbled around a little bit too much there. Maybe the high ping, who knows? But he fumbled around a little bit too much there to be able to try and get that right off the bat. Just Sing is having some serious issues trying to lock down these RTs. I mean, sure, let's take a look at this. I mean, they're just one RT. They're finally growing the one over here in observation, but that one got taken out really early due to the Drifter kill. So we'll have to see what happens here. Armor 1 finally done. So if they're in it, they really need to be able to go and just clear some of this out. I mean, Mr. Oizo pushing forward into base. JJ probably could have picked him off before IOS came around the corner there. But it looks like they're all going to set up to clean him out. But all right, here comes the giant crush on Mr. Oizo, and I can take that out. And I have to resist now because this whole hallway is now unconnected. Alright, that has been done, and they can finally expand their grab. I mean, let's see. They're finally at 2 RTs. Meanwhile, Elfir is at 4. And lurks are still a tick of res away. Converging on Trigu here, he does end up going down. However, Mikan and ZZ are both pretty hurt. Unique is going to come around the corner. He is already parasited, so they know he's there and they can run the Drifter away. They did get the Crag up, so that's also going to help out there. But Unique is back up against that wall. I mean, that's a fair distance that they have to be able to cover. Meanwhile, we have two over here. It looks like the RT just went down over here in launch control. Joey's just kind of hanging out, and JJ and Cold obviously are stuck on the other side of this little like pane of glass. They can see him no problem. They clean him out. Looks like they also took out Unique. I mean, both of those are both good positions there for them to be able to, you know, have whatever advantages they can have. Looks like Trigo's going to clean up Mikan and then possibly push forward into observation again. ZZ's preemptively hiding and hoping that Trigu won't check over there, but we do have Shades up as the lurks. So they're going to move in on there and take down... Oh! Shades is already really low. He needs to get... Okay, he does get the kill there and is able to get out. That would have been horrible to lose the lurk right there in that first engagement. He got really low there. But they're getting their shells up finally, so there'll be 2 shells up, it looks like, so far. Yeah. One's already up. Mikan's going to be a lurk. He is a lurk now. Presto, lurk. They just can't seem to get a second RT up. Meanwhile, Fear's up to 5. They maybe just really need to pack down the left side of the map and just like try and, or well, A side of the map. Anything that'll get them. Mika might end up going down. He barely ducks around the corner. There's the Crag there to give him a little bit more health, but they need to decide on something and do something decisive to try and lock down some more areas. You can see I'm sure 2 RTs have gone down in 5 minutes. I mean, considering they're only sitting on 1 RT also, or one non-base RT, Sing just really needs to go and just stop these Marines from showing up in their base. I do wonder if the ping is giving them any troubles or what. I mean, take a quick look here. Everybody's at... Well, nobody's orange. I have the highest ping here, which is unsurprising. But, I mean, they're all in the hundreds, the lowish hundreds. Shades is really hurt again. However, he's going to go down here because there's no place for him to hide. Trigu was showing, came in from gravity, so they're down a lurk. Mikan's still alive somewhere. Looks like, where is he? Ios is just like waiting. All right, he's with the skulk over there. That'd be JJ. And Ios is just gonna poke at base here and try and pull everyone back, which seems to be working. Kana is out of the hive. However, Shades is able to clean that up. I mean, look at the Marine tech that is just like flourishing. Seeing some mines up as well now, outside of base. Take a quick look. Sorry, hiccups. They do have some in base as well, sort of protecting what they have there. But having a few more aggressive forward mines will also help, especially if like a lurk happens to trip over one. I mean, look at this. They're hiding them on walls. You could hear one exploding somewhere. You put them on the right wall, and that retreating lurk will end up going kaboom. Never a good thing. Seeing Oizo sneaking down into observation again. Possibly. No, it looks like he wants to try and pinch Mikan, but Mikan's at full health, and there's the Crag in there as well. Gets a nice bite on Joey, another bite on Joey. However, the med packs are maybe going to make Mikan get completely destroyed. He does have the vent system there, so he can get the heck out. Taking a look at this, yeah, there's been some pressure on the res, but just... Sing is barely locking stuff down. They're finally onto a 3rd RT. They really need to make sure that they're winning some more of these engagements. They're up to 27 res for those that have not gone lurk. So that's really slow fades. I mean, it's just really slow. They had such slow lurks that just the whole thing, it's just slow and more slow. And you can see that they're getting a gate that's right there in gravity. If they're able to hold on to that gate, I mean, they already have shotguns. No, never mind. They don't have shotguns. They could get shotguns, no problem. But it looks like the gate is going to go down. If they'd gone for shotguns and they'd been able to keep that gate, they could go and just walk into the hive and just slaughter it mercilessly. They do have enough. Sing does have enough res for another hive, so they could drop the hive here in monorail, which they have a drifter kind of parked by that RT. So that might be what's going to happen. But And they looks like they might actually be able to expand over here into Hydro as well, and maybe get another RT, maybe get Gravity as well. There's so many maybes here that they just need to be able to gather everyone up, gather the troops, and actually do it, so that that way they aren't, you know, backed into a corner here. I mean, it's looking slightly better, except for the fact that, yeah, they have allowed Elfir to get so much res. Mikan just poking at them a little bit. Looks like they are going to lose Hydro to a gate there, so that's gonna be like no problem for them to be able to hold at this point. They did go for the monorail hive, so that has been dropped. There's nobody around to hear it, so it'll should be no problem for them to hold onto it for now, unless the guy unless somebody in energy flow goes walking into recap. There is a whip by the door, I believe, though, so that'll help also delay it. Meanwhile, the res is going to get destroyed. There's 2 skulks on that RT. Here comes JJ as well. I need to get a parasite on him, just so they know where he is in case this all goes terribly wrong. Looks like they might have been trying to get a gate over there in Plaza as well. I just saw the power go up as well, and I think something might have poofed. I'm not quite sure what it would have been, though. Anyway, guess what? We're seeing a bunch of things in Hydro. And they actually got the gravity gate up. So this is a good time. Get your shotguns out. And we'll go walking into the hive. Some mines down there. Love that. You can see the HP of mines. That's amazing. And they're just going to go in and try and get that gate down again. They need to make sure that they don't have some people come through, but they do pop out of that gate from gravity. Mikan's able to get out, so nothing lost yet. But they have look how much of the map they have locked down. I mean that what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 RTs locked down, no problem. They could maybe get energy flow as well, though. That's probably more towards Sing's territory. You know, just need assist in there. I mean, it's right next. It's their natural, so it's like no problem for them to walk into. But yeah, there's the shotguns. Fades are up now too, so you can't just walk into the hive with prior to fades now, because well, they're there. They're a little bit behind. Sing's a little bit behind on as far as the biomass goes. They're waiting for that third one to research so they could get metabolized for those fades. So they have to play a little bit more cautious than they might otherwise do, just so that they don't, you know, end up overextending and losing that. Okay, there. It looks like we might have Colt and JJ sitting on the gate. Oh, JJ's already really low, so he needs to just duck out. Colt's getting some swipes down. He also probably just needs to leave because he's all alone. Shotguns are done. And Colt is going to flee in terror. Alright. So the group all moving in here onto all into gravity. Oops. But with the, and if they're able to take these guys down, they can maybe take that gate. Alright, there's enough people on that gate that they just need to watch out they don't get flanked. It is actually being recycled, so now nobody will come through that gate. It's already toast. So they finally have a little bit less pressure going on their base. Except for the fact there are 3 Marines in the hive. While that was going on, the hive is going to get absolutely 96% grown. That was so close, and that hive is now getting completely thrashed. Colt takes a giant meat shot to the face. They need to like move that crag over a little bit. Try and see if they could, you know, just barely keep that alive for a little bit longer. It's 98% grown. 98%. They do okay. They do clear it out. Move that crag. Just lasso the crag and drag it over here, and then put it out somewhere. I don't know, something. Because that hive is hurting. 18%. But it is grown. That last push there almost took it down. Especially since it wasn't grown yet. Let's see what JJ ends up doing here. Kinda move the crag. Okay, it's healing. It's healing. We're all good on the hive. For now. Nuke taking out a Drifter Red over there. Meanwhile, over there we have 2 Marines in base. In the alien hive down here at Drone Bay. It's not the hive that they'd been probably expecting to have pushed, but at this point, well, stuff. And also sirens. Let's see. Here we go. Seeing the life form, the group of life forms moving in there on IOTS. JJ getting reasonably low, but that's 2 shotguns down over there, and they didn't lose any shells. Fade's getting upgrades. Let's see what they end up doing. You see a Skulk has snuck in. That'd be Shades had snuck in there and was taking down some of the res. So taking a look at the Marine, you know, capitalization on the res has somewhat taken a hit. They're catching back up on the 1 RT a minute thing. Just melting some of that. Mikan almost dying. He has 2 health. He did go for regen, so he can just hide in that vent, and Trigo just can waste his time sitting there watching it. Meanwhile, Shades is biting the gate. What you gonna do, Trigo? Sit there and watch the lurk, or are you gonna go and try and save the gate? Looks like he's just gonna go in there and try and shoot some shells. But that allows Mikan to get out of there and go in and get healed up by the hive and get some nice bites on Trigo potentially. One shell down, so they lost 1 shell, and they took down the gate. Joey is there. He's a shotgunner all by himself. The med pack, at least 1 med pack. He gets cleared up, so not a bad set there. Meanwhile, we've got 3 Marines moving towards monorail again. We have Kane out as a gorge. He doesn't have Bile Bomb yet though, so if they do take those shotguns out, they're going to be able to recap them for at least for a while yet. So IOT's Unique and Oizo all just kind of hanging it back in that far corner. I mean, they have to just looking at the room, you can see how much of a the nice little funnel that they had to force all the aliens through. JJ moves in there as they're recapping. They might take JJ down, but it looks like they had to reload. IOTS might have been able to take him, take the last shot there and take him down, but it would have been close. It might not have even been enough. It probably would take him down to just like a hair. It's another nice swipe on IOTS. He's just being very cautious because, of course, they're at what? And they're going to be able to go through and take him down, and they do clear that up. Alright, so they lost 2 shells. They lost another shell during that. It looks like they aren't redropping them there at the moment, at least. Looks like they're going to redrop them over here in Monorail where the crag is and all the stuff. Probably a good call on that one. A lot more of an investment over at that hive at the moment. Mikan and ZZ working on that power. They do take the power down before Unique is able to come around the corner. Colt is going to go hide in the vent. I think that is a vent that the Marines can also get to, so it's not exactly the world's greatest hiding place. However, Oizo won't be able to get to Colt. Yeah, here comes Trigu. He's scanned down. Oizo's waiting on that side. He has to take the chance, and he does go down. So that was a nice pinch there by Elfir. And IOTS goes down there too, JJ. So they have 1 lurk and 1 fade at this point. Looks like ZZ just turned into an Onos, maybe? Yes, ZZ is an Onos. The scan did not reach over there, so he is going to be an Onos, no problem. Charge is done. Leap is going, which is definitely a good call considering they've lost 2 of their higher life forms. Umbra also up. However, they might lose Mikan. Mikan very low, getting out barely by the skin on his wingtips. Looks like they're going to go group up with ZZ. Trigu obviously knows he's there. ZZ's kind of on his own at this point. He's right next to the gate, too. He's going to be able to take down Joey, potentially. And then work on that gate. Here comes Colt. Here comes JJ. So he's not alone anymore. They're going to be able to take down that gate. And just they haven't been able to hold on to that one since. I mean, at this point, looks like Singh has done a very good job. But once they finally locked down that res, they held on to it. I mean, it's not exactly the greatest position. They're fighting against Weapons 3, and they're going to have an AI up soon, so that'll probably go for HMGs from Elfir. So it'll suddenly become much harder if they're not able to go and just really capitalize on the fact that that they don't have that map position. Yeah, taking down the power, finally starting to take down the power in places definitely will help with that. It'll slow them down a ton. But they'll just have to make sure they don't end up with like a sneaky gate somewhere over here or something. But since both of them have been spotted, both by the whip and by Mikan, at this point it's just a random pressure group going after that RT. So they are going to finally lose that RT. ZZ is his Onos. He's now blocked by that armory. So he's going to work on the armory. Meanwhile, the Fade and the Skulk are going to work on everything else in there. JJ's going to have to get out. Here comes Mikan as the Lurk, bringing some Umbra. The gate is pretty much abandoned at this point, and they're going to, yeah, just recycle that. That wasn't happening. Meanwhile, we have two in base. That'd be Joey and Unique. They moved in there. They took out the last shell that was hanging out down there in Monorail. But otherwise, not much else. It looks like Unique is actually hiding in the vent. I'm assuming that he wants to go for the pinch. And since they actually haven't chosen a hive type for Monorail, which is interesting. JJ might end up going down if he isn't careful. He goes into the vent. But they just really need to make sure that they don't lose these life forms. The ones that they have up are they're kind of important. And they also need to make sure that that they do get the last shell up, that they get the other upgrades. Because at this point, having having a Shade Hive is probably a really good choice at this point. And it would, I don't know, I would say that it's almost a necessity to go and, pick your other hive type. So that way you don't have to worry about this. You can either have the extra speed, the extra energy, or you have, oh, what are we saying here? I think they were just trying to save those shotguns or something. They're going to have everybody pile back through. Because there wasn't anything in base as far as I could tell. So that was a beacon to try and just save the stuff. I mean, looking at the P-Res for Elfir, it isn't exactly like they're hurting. But they are losing some of their... Oh, Mikan getting completely wasted over there. A little bit of Umbra allows him to survive. They're building up some PvE over here in launch control. Chigu picking off the Drifter. The Whip is alive, but, well, it's not going to be for much longer. Meanwhile, over here on the second hive again. Come on, where's the other hive type? They could really do with some upgrades there, Kane. They have 28 res too, so even just, one Veil could potentially really help. I mean, yes, they're still down a shell as well. And just, ZC needs to make sure not to lose his life form. Mikan very low, he needs to go out and heal. There's a little bit of Umbra left in that hallway, so that way they can stay alive for a little bit longer. The Crag is heal waving through the wall. It probably reaches to about here, I think. I'm not entirely sure, because the zoom is different. Oizo's going to go down. Joey's going to be next. They're going to chase after him. And that's going to be how many shotguns? 1, 2. At least 2 shotguns that are down. I think I only see 2. Kane, pick the other hive type. Make it happen. Oh no. Alright, so we got ZZ almost dying over there in fluid transfer. And let's see what else. Losing a little bit of the res, the one over there in gravity. But at this point, look at how much the res has changed as far as where it was earlier. I mean, the average previously for Elfir was about 4-ish RTs, 4 or 5, somewhere in there, 4.5. And now it's kind of fallen down to being 3.5. So definitely, once they got the life forms up, Sing was able to do a lot better as far as holding onto their res and taking down some. And taking a look at the P-res right now, oh, we got Kane up the Gorge. Shades will be able to go Onos in a little bit, Mikan as well. So, with Colt having died as a Fade a while ago, he should be able to go and just be an Umbra Lurk if Mikan gets completely wasted by one of these, either a shotgun or an LMG. As long as none of the other Fades die or anything. Just so they have a nice set of life forms. Now they have the Gorge Tunnel up between the 2 hives, which will definitely help out there. They just better make sure that they don't accidentally miss a gate drop over here in observation or something. Because that would be with that tunnel up, that cuts a whole section of the map out that they don't have to worry about going through. And it's if you miss a sneaky gate, Well, there you go. Rising, bringing the BM. Talking about someone should tell Kane that there's second hive upgrades that he should get. Alright, so then with that whip there, that definitely makes them, lets them know that IOTS is in there. They're going proto. Interesting. I was sure that we were going to be saying HMGs, because obviously those are preferred by a lot of players. I mean, but it looks like we're going to see jetpacks. I haven't seen jetpacks out on the field in a long time. But they, I don't know if they necessarily have the P-res to cover it at the moment. A lot of people do have just 15. Okay, there's a couple that have a lot. They have the people with a lot, they can buy all the guns, and then have everybody buy their own jetpack. How about that? Oh, we're finally seeing Shade Hive. Finally going. And we're seeing one Marine walking into base. Oh, JJ dies. Right as I look away. Where did he go down? He got taken down by Joey. So it was up here in Energy Float. Meanwhile, we have IOTS in there sniping at the tunnel. Colt comes in. He actually did refade, so I don't know whether JJ will refade or if someone else will go Onos, because Mikan can now, or somebody else will go Lurk, because Mikan can go Onos now, which would probably be a smart thing to do, but jetpacks are almost done, and nobody's gone up there to scout it. Where is it? Where is the Proto? There's the Proto. There's, I think. Dang it, where is it? Where'd you guys hide the Proto? Oh well. Unique is hiding underneath the thing there, I think. He's being chased and he gets chewed to tiny bits. With a lovely lurk taunt. Anyway, Trigger's just doing some work over here, cleaning up some cysts. He's not even going to bother taking down that RT apparently. Jetpacks are now done, so they better watch out. They're going to end up with being chased by everything. Looking at the P-res, the only ones that can afford jetpacks are Trigger, Joey, and Unique. And we got a couple on the field already now. IOTS and Unique already have theirs. So they just better watch out. I don't know whether anybody's spotted that yet, but they will soon. We actually have a GL out as well. Unique has a GL. They swarm in after Joey. Joey does not have a jetpack, so no loss there. Looks like Trigger just bought a shotgun, and he does have a jetpack as well. So they just really need to be careful now with the Onos. They still have, it looks like Shades is turning into something. Shades, where are you? Shades is now an Onos, so they have 2 Oni. But the problem is jetpacks exist. So the higher life forms, you know, JJ and Colt and Mikan better be really good at picking jetpackers out of the air. Let's see, Joey and Oizo are like the 2 that don't have jetpacks. So that's definitely... Oh, there goes Mikan, taken down by a grenade launcher. ZZ, Colt, and JJ are all running the heck away. ZZ trying to do a little bit of body blocking for the fade. However, he just overcommitted potentially. He needs to get the heck out before something else happens. They need to, I think they already used a bone wall recently too, so they can't just bone wall behind him. So they're down a fade, and ZZ is having issues going up the stairwell. Alright, so Mikan is going to be re-lurking, it looks like, potentially. So that was bad timing to get some Onos, second Onos up when they just got the jetpacks. Shade's running in. He's going to end up going down. He's being chased by a Trigger. They really need that, Oh, a nice kill there from Shades. Suddenly realizes that he has the opportunity to turn around and just stab that guy in the face with the Onos horn. Was able to clear him out. So that's 1 jetpack down. Taking a look at this, you can see this like chaos here where the res has sort of shifted. All the Marine res got annihilated. Meanwhile, the alien res all went up. That GL must be so annoying. Mikan really needs to be careful. He's getting chased by IOTS. He swings underneath, it looked like, before coming back up, and with the Umbra in there as well, that'll definitely help with the shotgunner. However, it doesn't help with the GL. Oh, Colt just needs to land 1 swipe. Come on, land that swipe on Unique. Almost. Colt is really low now, though. If anybody's called that, he's going to be toast. He's able to get out. ZZ's able to... No, that was actually Trigger falling to his doom. There are only 2 jetpacks out on the field. Both of them are right here in this room. And they're just able to get out. I mean, that's like a really bad room for them to be able to fight in. I mean, just let them have that and take everything else. Because guess what? There's 2 in the other hive. Mikan has gone down. Just spending too much effort trying to kill 2 jetpackers in there. Colt pops out of the tunnel. Here comes Shades as well. They're going to go after Oizo. Alright, and that has been cleaned up and is safe. Mikan looks like he just re-lurked again. So that was a 3rd Onos, potentially, except for the fact that, well, he went lurk again. So looking at this, we're seeing still only 2 jetpacks. They're being very conservative with their jetpack usage. I mean, that is an awesome room for the jetpacks, as we could see. I mean, you just couldn't hit them as an Onos. I mean, there's so much height vertically that just you could just, like, dodge everywhere. It's a little bit dangerous, but, yeah. Alright, so they've lost all the shells during that whole shenanigans with the main hive. Mikan getting clipped there by a GL. He actually does go down again. They need to get those Onai out of there. Yes, sure, the gate is getting kind of low, except for the fact that there's kind of jetpackers everywhere. You either need to take down the jetpackers or just get out, but it looks like they're going to take the gate down. Hydro goes down. I guess they dropped a gate? Or did they actually drop a hive? Or was it a fake hive? I don't know. I guess it was a real hive? Distraction hive? Still 2 jetpackers on there. Looks like, actually, nope, 1 jetpacker. Just Trigger. Trigger better run away. As you can see, it's so easy to just dodge Shades. He's just like laughing practically. Hey look, Mikan is a lurk again. Alright, so the fake hive has gone away. Mikan is moving in to try and take out Joey, who is hanging out there in Hydro. At this point, the res has sort of equalized. Mikan's going to lose another lurk. That is an Onos worth of lurks that has gone down. Keep this in mind, people. For the viewers at home, we have lost an Onos worth of lurks. An entire Onos worth of lurks. I mean, this really might have been a better time for them to just... Oh, Colt goes down. This really might have been a better time for them to have, instead of having, you know, Mikan repeatedly turn into a lurk until he dies. It should have been a better... Just go for the 3 Onos and take out the base. I mean, you could drop a YOLO hive on, you know, some of the other tech points or put a drifter there or whatever. But at this point, Joey's going to go after more upgrades. He's going to go after the 1 remaining shell. Shades does not quite make it back in time. We're still seeing only 2 jetpacks on the field. If they clear out this set of jetpacks, that'd be amazing for them, because guess what? Nobody can buy them right at this instant. Just really need to land that last, but okay. That has been, Hydra has been dropped for reals this time. And we're seeing 2 Onai. Oh, HMGs though, they do exist. We have Unique up with the HMG. Looks like he's the only one, I think, at the moment. So, I mean, just aliens are still able to go and just, you know, slowly claw out some res. Here's Mr. Oizo versus JJ. I mean, Skulks do have leaps, so they're not, like, totally useless. But it's still pretty hard. He really just need to get that jetpacker out of here. But nope. See, if Oizo dies, he cannot buy another jetpack. I mean, this is just, this jetpacks, this is one of the problems. If you go jetpacks and you aren't able to just capitalize on the first set, you're just like eating P-Res. I mean, that P-Res just goes into this like black hole. It falls into the pit underneath gravity, never to be seen again. Move in on Trigger a little bit. They're able to get a little bit done on him, but here comes an HMG. So that'd be 2, 1, 2. Unique has 1, and the gate is back up. They just really need to leave gravity alone and just annihilate everything else at this point. I mean, okay, they're controlling more of the map. You can see that it's went from this horrible start to being somewhat better, but they're gonna let the Marines take so much res and, you know, be able to get more jetpacks and be able to actually go in the game. They still need 1 more shell, it looks like. Gravity's at 60% grown. But fear not, there are plenty of drifters. There are drifters everywhere. Zizi runs straight up into Iots and is going to just completely destroy him. Looks like Trigu is the next one who can afford a jetpack, I think. So can Iots. They're actually just going to recycle the one here, the RT here in Energy Flow. There's kind of an Onos waiting around the corner just for them. If they're able to get that last hive up, though, that'll be so much better for them. I mean, looking at the res, I mean, Mikan can go lurk again, but I think at this point they probably told him to, like, stop for a bit. And guess what? We have Ono and the power. They force the beacon and then get the Onos out. That was really good timing on their part. And they have the Crag there, so though it's down to 75% or so, they have the Crag. Everything's still alive and dandy. The one whip there. Mikan working on some res. We're seeing Trigger there taking down one of the skulks, and here comes JJ getting a couple swipes in. He does take that down. We still have Unique up with a HMG jetpack. Hydra has finished, so that'll be nice for Shades to heal behind. Oh, he's actually just gonna hide inside. Screw that. I mean, that's nice healing. I think there's a Crag too. Yeah, there's a Crag as well. They do have a cap on the healing. Shades is just going to have to go hide in the hive. I think that's going to end up happening here. Shades just... Okay, he's getting enough heals so that he's able to continue this engagement. And they did take down Unique, finally. Alright. So, we have Gravity still under Marine control. We still have the tunnel between the two alien hives. Nobody's gone to try and get a sneaky gate, but then again, I mean, power is kind of primed there, but they have the whip in the door. We have the energy... power's down in Energy Flow. And nobody has an HMG because nobody has res because everybody bought jetpacks at one time or another. As I said, that is the problem with jetpacks. You cannot cycle a jetpack. They just disappear. And we're seeing Onai in base. Calm is out of the chair. People have to face back. Iots is jetpacking around. Both the Onai decide that they're just gonna leave. They can catch him in a nice narrow hallway. They can just pick him off. ZZ's just gonna hide around the corner. An entire Ono's hiding. Oh, nice! There goes one more jetpack. And now there goes another. They're down to no jetpacks again. Trigger could afford one, unless they secretly change the jetpack routes. And they're claiming launch control just in case, which I think was a wise decision, and they might have wanted to have actually done that earlier, but Mikan can just go poof it. Mikan's like, sup, he's a lurk again. He can go poof the blueprint. He just better watch out for Joey. I'm assuming he has Umbra? Yeah, he can just get the heck out. It's just an LMG though, I mean, but it's a Weapons 3 LMG with bad ping. So they know that that's going up, so they're preparing for getting rushed again. JJ has really low health. He should be able to get back to Hydro no problem. Here we go, back to base. Launch control chair has been finished. They're getting beaconed all the way back to what's it? Fabrication. Both the Fades tried to move in on the gate, but you know, it's a couple of Fades, not anything that can do damage to the building, and they weren't set up quite right. Mikan's able to take down Plaza, so they're down to 3 RTs, Sing's up to 5. So definitely this has started, you know, slowly started being, you know, clawed back in Sing's direction.
Command station under attack.
Onai back in base. Shades might actually end up going down. ZZ moves into body block. Very nice blocking there. Now ZZ needs to get the heck out to get a nice bone wall there from Kane to protect the Onai, and they're able to go back and heal. There is a nice little crag here, and they're actually going to get some more PvE, it looks like, set up. There's at least one whip. That'll be another one, and they're going to set those up in the hallway. Meanwhile, down here, there are people popping through the gate. JJ gets low. JJ goes down. Colt might actually go down as well, but he looks like he's going to barely escape around the corner with like 5% HP. So one fade has gone down. That'd be JJ has 12 res now, so he cannot refade, but they could use a gorge. A gorge would be nice. They just keep having to come back to base. They just really keep pulling them. Meanwhile, all their res is getting annihilated. Here we go again. Another push from the Onai. Iot's still hanging out in base. Joey phased back. Everybody shows up, and they're just like, screw it, on the power. One Ono's down. That's bad. I mean, don't they remember that there's another chair up? Did they see the other chair? Everything is down at the moment. There's only one Ono's left. No Gorge to support him there. But they're going to be able to kill them all. It's just Trigu. Find the Marine. Hunt that Marine down. It's all on you, Trigu. It's all on you. He's just throwing his gun against a wall.
Command station under attack.
And there goes ZZ finding him. So just all that little chip damage on the power. We're able to go and kill everybody. So good job to Sing. Alright. That did not look well at all for Sing starting off. They weren't able to grab their res. Just this slow crawl towards trying to lock down the res. Does this server have... No, that would be logical. But they kept those pushes into base, forcing like, what was it, like at least two beacons? Maybe 3? A couple of beacons, a couple of, yeah, there's just a lot of, forcing them to repeatedly, just go between gravity and fabrication. And obviously, when you're in spec, you hear random things when people are talking because, well, they're all tabbing or whatever. Alright. 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 So we got all the mercs ready to go here. And this will be moving into the final round. I'm curious if we're going to be seeing another Marine win or what. Whether just both teams are rusty on Marines. Because some of these, it's really looked like the Marines had a really good chance at, closing up the game. And they just don't. And I know that's one of the things that can at times be hard, is trying to figure out how to actually end a game. But, it's something that you need to make sure that you have figured out. And I think I remember I was watching Kane's stream last night, and I know that I think they did make some comments about how they still need to work on their Marine game. So that could be part of it, is just, teams being rusty at Marines. And, because if you mess up on aliens, if you're slightly out of position, it's a lot easier to get back just between vents, and the fact that you don't have to worry about medkits. Theoretically there's already PvE set up, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you did see that there were crags all over the place, so there were nice little healing stations. But looks like it'll be 5 minutes here. Unacceptable. I think that probably would have ended a lot faster with the two Onai repeatedly pushing the power. If they did have somebody go Gorge and help out, that probably would have been something where if they hadn't just done that final leg, screw it, YOLO, let's kill this base kind of thing, that would have been something where if they'd had a Gorge in there, that would have, not necessarily been frightening. But they were able to go through and do that. So, no problems there. And we are going to, so it's a 5-minute break. Taking a look here at what everybody had. So despite Mekon dying like a zillion times as Lurk, like all of his deaths, I guess, were probably as Lurk except for maybe one. Polar must be alt-tabbed. But yeah, that one, it should have been a Marine win earlier on. There was just so much stuff where it seemed like, where it's like they almost could have had this, but then it just slowly crawled away. It escaped into the darkness, and they just couldn't claw it back. I mean, I thought that with those that is, as I said, that is the problem with the jetpacks. I think that the jetpacks might have also hurt Elfir more than helped them, since they weren't able to just like really capitalize on them when they had them up. I mean, it's not like they took the guys with the jetpacks and chased after the Onai and wrecked everything. But there were the two. I mean, Gravity. Was obviously a really good room to have the jetpacks in. But the problem is that they already had lost a fair amount of PRES, I think. I think there were a couple people that were above 30, but there were a couple that were still down at like 16 or so. And it's just like, eh. It might have been better to just go for HMGs since HMGs earlier because you could have cycled them, and then you could have just totally thrashed the Onai that barely escaped around corners and stuff, as opposed to just having them escape around corners. And instead of spending that P-res on stuff that you can't just give to the next player that shows up because they came through the phase gate after you died, kind of thing, give it to some, instead of having that P-res that just vanishes when you die, instead have something you could cycle. That is one of the reasons why, at least I think that, if you can't just go end the game with that first round of jetpacks, it might be good to consider something else instead. Anyway, we're going to move into the final round of Singularity versus Elfir right here. So, or not. False alarm. Maybe. Someone is eating Lucky Charms. Please wait. Alright, we will please wait. So, false alarm on that one. But yeah, that is one of the things you have to consider. If you can't... if you can't just end the game in that first push with the jetpacks, is it really worth using the jetpacks? Or is it going to be worth, getting T-res? And, going for cat packs and just trying to cat pack everything to doom and destruction. Alright, so now maybe for real we are moving into the final round. Let's see what happens here, whether we're going to end up with the same spawns, or if we might get the horizontal ones and end up with some possible base rushes, or possibly not. We'll have to see here. 2 seconds, 1 second, and into the final round, and we are going to see the horizontal spawns. Sorry guys, I apologize for jinxing you. We are going to see an armory showing up instantaneously. ZZ's going to build that. Meanwhile, we got 3 moving up towards the north. I'm assuming ZZ will probably move towards the south half of the map to join up with Mikan. Who's just going to go over there and cap. It's almost getting taken out there. He's hiding up at the ceiling, up on the little catwalks that are up there. Meanwhile, we got Joey and Oizo moving in on poor Mikan, potentially. Mines are almost done though, so that'll probably be, I think that's ZZ that's close to base. Yeah, it's ZZ that's close to base. He'll probably moving back in now that they're done, and setting up some mines over there to prevent, give them a little bit more time in case they rush into the base. You can see that IOTS started to go in the vent there. There are 3 aliens right there in water treatment. That's what the other word is. Alright, so we got some mines down in base. So they're pretty well secured then. Shouldn't be too bad, except for the fact they just lost their first extractor. And they're going to lose the second one too, potentially. There's nobody up towards the north half of the map. There are 2 going south. They were probably going to try and save that one, but nobody's going north. Run, JJ, run! Unique is set up to pounce on him right underneath the little ledge. And Trigger's just like chomping away. And there they go. Saving that RT. Meanwhile, Colt built up infiltration and they're just continuing onward. Oizo looks like he's going to set up and hope that somebody comes through there, but at this point nobody's going to go that way. We're going to have ZZ moving forward. I think Oizo might end up trying to go on him. He does lose that engagement. He almost kills ZZ though. At this point, as far as res goes, much stronger start for Elfir. Sing did lose the first RT right off the bat. That was the one down in observation, which has since been rebuilt. Looks like IOTS is going to move in on Mikan and maybe take him out. And energy flow is blinking yet again. But that's okay, they're getting hydro, so shouldn't be too bad. And we'll probably be seeing an arms lab start up with some upgrades here, not too terribly long. And let's see. Nope, nothing as of yet. Oizo and Unique just kind of down the hallway. They got parasites on both Shades and JJ, so it's not going to be too hard to avoid them. In fact, they're just going to clean up the rest down there in observation, and Rios is going to go over and chomp off ZZ's head there. So the north of the map is pretty much open for the Marines if they're going to be able to go and, you know, clear out the two, Trigu and Joey. Joey goes down, Colt gets taken out by Trigu there. So that was a nice bait there. And we got stuff in base. We have IOTs running around in circles, chomping at stuff. They do have a mine left. They have another IP up. So it's going to be a lot harder now. That initial, like, threat of base rush is probably over. Though getting another pack of mines down might not be the worst thing to do. I mean, they lost, it looks like, one mine. So maybe getting another one up over wherever they're going to put the arms lab and, like, you know, another one somewhere around the IPs, just so that they have that little bit of extra, you know, ability to do stuff and dodge. Probably not a bad decision if somebody wants to spend that set of res. Alright. Oizo just chomping on an RT. Seeing lurks up, both IOTs and Unique up as lurks. Let's see if we end up... It looks like we are going to have Trigu up as a lurk as well, so they're going to do the 3 lurk thing again, and that obviously was giving Sing a lot of issues in the first round. And since they did go shift hab again as well, again, this seems to be some crazy Euro thing. What's up with these weird Euro strats? Come on, guys. Anyway, Trigu's going to swoop on in there and not have a chance to bite Mikan while he's silent. There is the mine there, so they're trying to... Mikan's trying to bait him into the mine. Colt goes down. Mikan trying really hard to bait him in. But not quite close enough. Oh, it takes a nice chunk out of, who was that? Unique. Takes a nice chunk out of Unique, but he does die. Hydro is going to go, Hydro RT is going to go down at this point. Sing better just group up and kill these lurks. Just, like, slaughter them mercilessly if they hope to have a chance to continue on. Because we saw how well that seemed to work for Elfir last time. But then again, they also had the benefit of they forced to relocate. So they did, possibly maybe that was why IOTS was in base earlier, was trying to force the relocate to maybe Hydro or something instead. But it didn't work as well. They did have the mines there, and it just, yeah. Anyway, IOTS floating around up there in the ceiling, getting a little bit, not even really any chip damage there from ZZ. However, he's going to take a little bit of chip damage there from ZZ. And now JJ has joined him. And we're actually seeing a pause here, so I'm assuming somebody's computer is being dumb. Alright, can't be NS2 without a little bit of issues. So not quite sure what it is, because it looks like everybody's still in here at the moment. Nobody has, like, crazy ping. Everybody's alive. Oh, let's look around here. Kaboom. There was a kaboom. It looks like it didn't really do any damage. It looks like 2 lurks were there blowing up the mine. Let's see where it was. Alright, it was right down there on the stairs, it looks like. Yeah, it was down here somewhere. Gotta love that. When you blink away on pause and then move back, it does the effects and sounds again. It also makes ragdolls go flying again, but nobody's dead at the moment, so you can't see a ragdoll go flying across the room anymore. I'm sorry, it's an unfortunate pause. There's that silly entertainment. Anyway. Taking a look at the graph, you can see that Elfir is doing a good job holding on to their RTs, doing a great job at biting down singularities. 7 RTs in 5 minutes so far. Very good start on that point. Anyway, not quite sure why, still, again, why we had the pause. Everybody's ping looked okay. Everybody's still connected. But maybe he did lose his lucky charms. Who knows? But yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. I mean, the 3 lurks. Let's look at Singularity's position on the map. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are they? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there somebody down here? Where's the other Marine? Am I blind? One Marine, 2 Marine, 3 Marine, 4 Marine. I feel okay. Maybe somebody did disconnect, and the thing is just like not updating or whatever. So I only see 4 Marines. Kaboom. Oh well. But they definitely need to stay in the groups. Kane messed up his food. Good job, Kane. Oh, his brother can't cook. Whatever. Lucky Charm souffle. Alright, they're gonna move in on. And Joey, what's gonna happen with Joey? Colt using all his pistol shots and almost. The Shades could have almost taken him out there. Such low HP. Oh, and Mikan over there trying to rescue the RT, but Oizo just goes then gets that last little bite on it, and there goes that extractor. They're down to 2 RTs, so they'll have to go and recap, but they have to wait a little bit for them to be able to get that. Looks like the Lurks just cleaned out the guys in the north. Unique and IOT's just kind of like cruising along. ZZ's all by himself there, and so he's dead. We're just going to say that he's dead already, because it's going to happen. So here's the problem again. Those 3 Lurks are not going to let them hold on to very much res. They need to have... They just need to just focus down one of them and make it 2 Lurks. But at this point, it's not happening. It's just those 3 Lurks are too powerful. End of world. ZZ moves in there. He either didn't see Mr. Oizo or something, but either way, he tried to get around there and ended up going down. Armor 1 is complete, so that'll help out, sure. But Sing is at 3 RTs. I see in chat single hive bile bomb games. That's like a pub strat. That's like, I don't know. That's crazy pub strats. That shouldn't be in comp. Anyway, we're seeing Mikan getting cleaned up again by a Lurk and a Skulk. Like, might take down Unique. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Colt out of ammo. Has to reload. Too late. Too much pistol. Not enough stuff that... Ah! Colt! You took out ZZ. What did you do? So Metabolize is going. Colt needs to make sure he watches out because those mines are kind of going to go boom. Oizo's just hanging up in the rafters. Nothing too exciting there. Meanwhile, the map is turning green. JJ's trying to be sneaky, but unfortunately there's kind of a Lurk there. He did get some good damage on him. I mean, it's not like they're, you know, missing all their shots or anything. It's just a matter of, you know, there's kind of these Lurks that are taking a bunch of damage and not dying. IOT's almost flying into the Lurk trap. ZZ actually dies to mines too. Or what? Wait, what? Oh no, he killed a mine. Just kidding, it was in the wrong order. I was like, wait, he's still alive, how does that even work? So Shades and Mikan have finally moved down into Drone Bay. However, there are kind of some Lurks there. And Mikan is going to be the last one alive down there. Fades are up as well. Just these 3 Lurks. Sing doesn't seem to have an answer for it at all. Just they don't have... They have an okay start. And then Lurks come out, and then just... Deep. There goes all the res that's, you know, suddenly becoming alien res. They're going to lose this RT for the... That'll be the 11th RT down. In 8 minutes. Almost 9 minutes. That's a really nice rate. They keep almost killing the Lurks too. I mean, I think I don't know whether it's an issue of they keep split. I mean, I do keep seeing them like sort of splitting up, so that could be part of it. I'm not sure if shotguns would necessarily be the best, though. I guess at this point, you kind of need them to be able to get that nice blast damage at close range from when the fades come ducking in. I mean, it won't be quite as nice, obviously, with you know, weapon 0, but it'll help. Both the Lurks down here in observation are getting kind of low. But they're able to just go through the vent. Shades is running over, hoping that maybe they'd come out through the vent. He's actually trying to flank him. He runs into a fade instead. So, he's toast. Yeah, imagine the game with regen. Or shells, either one. So they won't die, even for an even longer period of time. Anyway, even the fade could go take down that that poor power node, and it looks like that's going to be the job of the lurk. At this point, it's unless they go and flash something. Trigger almost goes down. ZZ splits up from JJ and company and ends up going down. Oh, they almost take out Joey though. And we've stopped blinking in base. We have a couple lurks in base, just chomping on stuff. They already lost one IP, so that is the last IP, I guess. And it's just gonna be over here in a moment. Kane jumps out of the chair. He can't really do anything. He can't beacon.
Command station taking
They're just gonna call it GG, and that'll be it for this round. This whole game actually. So it's going to end on a 2-2 all alien wins. So I think that could be a sign that both the teams need to work on their alien or their marine games. Sing definitely, as I said, I seem to recall them saying when I was watching Kane's stream last night, they need to work on their marine game. Okay, sure, as long as they recognize that. Elfir don't have their normal comm at the moment, so maybe that's part of it. But then again, trying to work on their marine game in general probably won't hurt. Oh, let's see. So that'll be it for this game. We do have another game this evening at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific. That'll be Intent versus Overextension. I'll also be casting that one. So that'll be fun. And we have a couple games on Sunday. I know one of them is a premiere match. That'll be Titus versus Godar. That's at noon Pacific. I'm also going to be casting that one. Let's see. There's a couple other games. I know It's Super Effective is casting Div 2 or 3 one. I forget which. It's not Div 4. I know it's Div 2 or 3. Either way, that's going to be, I can't remember which one it is. You can go to nsl.org and look it up on the sidebar. All the matches are listed there. If you're a caster and you haven't signed up for matches, there are a couple that I don't think have casters as of yet, so feel free to go sign up for those and we'll get them on the calendar as well. Let's see. I know there were a couple matches that morning at 19-ish CET. That is right. I was going to mention it earlier. Guys, guess what? It's now a time change. You're going to be a time change for the Euros. For all you North American players, you now have to do different math to be able to schedule with them. So keep that in mind. And the Australians already had their time change. So pretty much for the next week or whatever, I think the North American time daylight savings time change thingy is next weekend. So for these 3 weeks here, all the times are going to be really stupid, and then they'll all sync up again and be nice starting next weekend on Sunday. So hopefully that'll not cause too many issues for people. Do double check, make sure that you do have the right times set up. I do know that one of the matches that's potentially for tomorrow does have a time issue that I think Nanobytes is involved, but I can't remember who they're playing. One of the teams with an NA versus Euro team is having some scheduling issues. Let me look. Just a shout out to those people on that team. Please go double check your math. Nanobytes versus Austrian Death Machine. If you're a member of one of those teams, please go check that you did the math on the time zones right, because you were not accounting for CEST to CET time change. Please go check that, because I really hate dealing with time zone math, because I know this match also had some weird time zone cred going on, but thankfully they were able to play at the, sort of pre-scheduled time. So, good job on that. Anyway, nice match going on here. Definitely had that one crazy round there on Descent with Sing as aliens. So that was definitely a good round. It was good to see these teams play, and I will be seeing you guys, at least some of you guys probably again, maybe tonight, and if not, tomorrow. So, thank you for watching.